Hello, welcome to episode 27 of Gilganos playing Dawntrail. Today we will be starting, not assuming we're gonna finish this in one episode, but at least starting, patch 7.3, which dropped 2 days ago. We will be going through the main scenario quests. As far as I know, that includes a dungeon and also a trial. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, let's go. The back room, doorman. Let me in. I love the back room. You heading to the back room? Yes, we are. What did happen in the last patch? I don't remember. Yeah, we fought Beatrice, right? Beatrix, basically. And we went down to the actual castle of Alexandria, right? Yeah. Oh, and we got ambushed with a lightning strike, and we survived easily. What else happened? Oh yeah, we did shed some light on the fake fiend going around, right? Well, actually we don't really know which one is the fake, right? Haha. Yeah. Well, maybe there's probably gonna be a recap anyways, is there? We'll see. Targeted tragedy. Shale wishes for a moment of your time. If you have a moment, Yomi, Geode wants to take stock of the current crisis. Oblivion may be lacking the finer details in certain areas, so we'd like you to lend your perspective to the conversation. Good that I remember everything that happened last time. Yes. Like, just as if it would have happened yesterday, right? Mm-hmm. I don't even remember what happened yesterday. Oh. What did happen yesterday? Oh yeah, I recorded an episode of Clair Obscur. I remember. That was a long one. Sorry to drag you into a meeting, but we need to get a better handle on the threats Alexandria is facing right now. Not at all. Much has happened since the state funeral, and a clearer idea of where things stand would be beneficial for us as well. First things first then. Let's discuss the state of the machine malfunctions. Was that last time? That wasn't last time, right? That the machines attacked... No, that was during the main scenario quest. Oh yeah, I think it's just random machines malfunctioning, right? Okay. Every single sector reported instances of sentries attacking citizens without provocation and vehicles suddenly becoming unresponsive to controls. And while these malfunctions were resolved fairly quickly, they nevertheless resulted in a considerable number of injuries and deaths. Oh, deaths even. Wow, okay. But you haven't heard anything about new incidents since then, right? Right. No additional reports have been logged as far as I know, and that's the good news. Bad news is, I tried to take control of the soldiers when they started hurting people, but they wouldn't listen to me, even though I have the king's authority. Once things calmed down, I was finally able to make them give up their weapons, but if it happens again, I don't know if they'll ignore me like before. The King of Resolve's authority is about the highest there is. Who is this man that can override it with such impunity? Calyx. He lived in the age of the Storm Surge, as I did. Lest you forget, he was known for his advancements in electrope technology, and it was he who established preservation for the purpose of furthering his research. The wasting disease which afflicted him, however, was said to leave him scant years left to live. He must have chosen to undergo conversion into an endless that he might continue his efforts into the present day. Preservation's early goals seemed noble enough, exploring treatments for Levin sickness, designing Everkeep's core system, that sort of thing. Why harm the people that he was ostensibly trying to help? I do not pretend to fully understand Calyx's motivations, only that he appeared incensed by what he saw as mankind's failings. He asserted that the strategy of adapting... Oh yeah, right, the glorious evolution, right? Strategy of adapting our species through generational succession was outdated. That evolution now requires us to forsake bodies of flesh in favor of eternal preservation. We've already seen how he's employed a simulant to convince Alexandrians that endless conversion is their only hope for survival. Eternal life is assured for the 5,000 who register their neo-regulators. But this is merely one part of Calix's greater plan. He wants the key to interdimensional fusion. With that relic in his possession, he will draw ether from the reflections and expand his efforts to create endless 1,000-fold. Hey, this is 7.3, so this is the 0.3 patch, this is the big one. This is gonna be the end of Dawntrail, right? And the next patch, if they follow the usual pattern, will be, you know, the build up to the next expansion, so... Well, I'm 100% expecting that we're gonna unlock interdimensional travel, right, between the rifts, because I'm still pretty sure, well, not pretty sure, but I'm expecting the next expansion to at least partially happen in the 13th, and that Reen and Gaia will be part of the main character cast. And maybe Mericidia will even be a part of it, right? Because Tiamat is getting lonely, I would say, right? Not sure if they can do all of that in one expansion, though, so... Who knows? But maybe, you know, maybe it will start Mericidia, then go over to the 13th or something like that. I don't know. Or maybe it's gonna be 2 different expansions, but that's the content I foresee happening in the next expansions. And then, of course, there's also the mystery about the Milala, right? Where did they come from? Where did they go? Well, we know where they came from, because the story of Alo Alo Island pretty much explains some of that, right? But yeah, South Sea Islands would also be possible area, at least, right? If we mean to foil Calix's schemes, then our only option is to determine where he's hiding and put him down. It sounds like we have to put down a pet dog, a rabbit pet dog, aww. Which unfortunately is easier said than done. I really hope we're not gonna, you know, like, actually dispose of him in this patch. Because we really need a new big villain, right? For, you know, like the next 8 years or so. I've been scouring the terminal we found in the depths of Everkeep, but I failed to uncover even the slightest trace of his activities. Give me a little more time, though, and I'm sure I can sniff him out. I'll help you. While Deluja and Shayla are working on that, I think I'm going to take a look around town. I want to make sure no new problems have cropped up, as well as search for any information that might lead us to Calix. You're welcome to come along. Another malfunction could happen at any time, and I'd be glad to have some brawlers at my back. That's my job, yeah. Just nodding, no thinking, brawling. We're in for that. Count me in! Raha and the others are helping Oblivion patrol the other levels of the keep, so shall we stick to the streets of Solution 9? Sounds like a plan. Thanks, you do. I appreciate the company. I have to speak with the city's administrators about bringing in the Lance Guard. I want our soldiers around to protect those who are moving to Tuliolal. Alfino and Alizé will be joining me for this meeting, so the 3 of us can cover that sector as soon as we're done. If I may, I'd like to join Yomi's group if you'll have me. Sure. I don't mind. The more mouths to ask questions, the merrier, as long as you're aware of the dangers. Thank you. I'll do my best not to be a burden. Oh, and the biggest question, obviously, of this patch. Will we finally hear a remake version of You Are Not Alone? Please! Please! This is basically the last chance, right? Because it doesn't fit the raid scenario, so... I'm more... well... No. It is basically last chance. I'm more worried about you, Geode. Don't do anything stupid. I'll change your tune once we get back with the goods on Calix. Then the drinks are on you. I see death flags rising. Come on, let's continue this outside. No, 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 no. Oh, and I mostly forgot that that's actually the the quest accept theme of the expansion. Outside Neonstein. I read disqualified citizen. I got my hands on a Neo regulator and then came this close to crashing into a hover cargo. The day I become endless can't come soon enough. I only hope I live that long. This society is so weird. It's like... I already said that during the MSQ of Dawntrail. It's like how do they die so often? It's not like they had... I don't understand. It's like, oh, I need 5 souls because I could die 5 times tomorrow, right? In my regulator. I will do my utmost to ensure the happiness of Alexandria and its people. The city looks as though it's regained a sense of normalcy. Alas, the people will not soon forget recent events. Why so quiet? What's going on? Should we start? Go around? Talk to people? Sorry, I was off in my own little world. Shall we get started? Exactly what I said. Are you alright, Gio? Did I update the visuals of my gear, or was it already last patch? Huh. Because I think it looks better than... well, at the beginning of the expansion at least. Me? I'm well enough, given the circumstances. It was the Queen's fondest wish that her subjects remain shielded from the horrors of death. And so they were for the longest time. Then the moment mortality once again becomes an unavoidable fact of life, they are greeted with an outbreak of bloody violence. Many are bound to give the endless alternative serious consideration. Indeed, and I do not blame them for that. It is only natural that such thoughts should come to mind. What I cannot forgive is the way Calyx wields fear and misery to manipulate people into making that choice. FOMO! Absolutely FOMO! Fear of missing out. No one, not Calyx nor anyone else, should dictate how we cope with the spectre of death. As one who lived as an Alexandrian, I wish to put the choices for this country's future back into the hands of its citizens. And you think we can handle that responsibility? After everything you've seen of us? It is what I have seen that has convinced me you can. I awoke 4 centuries later to find our people living and laughing beneath Alexandria's banner. Though surprised and bewildered, I was overjoyed to see it so. You all deserve to be happy. You're not speaking about yourself though, so she has clearly set her path on sacrificing herself somehow. So that the people at Square Enix do not have to deal with her character after the expansion, I guess. Well then. We'd best not let you down. Now I suggest we move as a group. We don't... What? Why? We need to talk to people, so why not split up? 2 people, 2. Me and Sven and you and Cryo. You know, fighter and the healer, fighter and... her. Then we will, you know, can talk to people. Like, double the amount of ground. Now I suggest we move as a group. We don't know if or when a battle might find us. Oh, I believe someone came prepared for just such an eventuality. She's a scholar. So she is a healer. Is that the Grimoire retrieved from the old castle? I'm just assuming she's a scholar, not a summoner, because... you know, she's Garnet, and Garnet is a white mage, right? So... would make sense, right? Well, no, never mind. Garnet is a summoner, I'm stupid. She's a white mage summoner. She might be a summoner, Yes, my parents gifted it to me when I was a child. Would not make any sense, because how would she know any of the primals, right? So, no, most likely a scholar. Or maybe even an arcanist, right? They were adamant that I should learn to protect the things important to me. I was fortunate enough to have a tutor in the arcane arts, okay, arcanist, so I lay claim to some small measures of skill. If that's the case, I might be better if you split into 2 groups after all. Would certainly be more efficient in information getting. See, that's what I say. Guess that makes sense. The 2 of you can take the west side of the recreation zone then. Yomi and I will take the east. That does not make any sense. Because... wait, she's a Pictomon, so never mind, she's not a healer. Right, well, okay. Fine, okay, whatever. Very well. We shall end our patrol in the plaza just past True View and await you there. Let's do the rounds then. We'll see what's what and chat to the people we meet along the way. Pay special attention to anyone who looks overwhelmed or overly excited. Hopefully that will earn us a tidbit or two we didn't know before. Escort. Oh my god, are you kidding me? So they're not following you, but I'm following them, right? Can I understand that correctly? Certain duties require that one or more NPCs accompany you in order to proceed with quest objectives. You must keep them at your side and make your way to the designated location. As long as you remain in the same... What? Did they just change the tutorial for this and that's why it shows up again? Sounds like the same as before, right? Oh, even when using teleport or the Ethernet. Yeah, it's the same as before. Why does this show up? I guess they changed the quest text or something, right? Because I think it wasn't called escorting before, right? Okay. I thought they would have added another of these mechanics that people hate, like escorts. Great, right? Somber citizen. Are the sentries and air wheelers safe to be around now? Just know it's going to happen again, and maybe next time I will be the one who dies in a horrible accident. I need a neo-regulator. Becoming endless is the only way. Even Queen's Fiend said so. Discuss review. Ah, the memories. I used to drink around here all the time. I made sure not to overdo it when I had work the next day, but once we were past the busy season, or when the ladies weren't amenable to my company, well, you'd have to scrape me off the street outside in the morning, or afternoon. The worst I ever got was on what should have been the worst day of my life, if only I could remember it. I was still wearing a regulator back then. It was also the day I first met Shale, although I guarantee she's forgotten it completely. Hey, we're learning more about Geode's backstory, so that he can die in this patch, and it, hit harder emotionally, I guess. Greetings, citizen. You want to hear my story? While I appreciate you offering a sympathetic ear, there's not much to tell. You must know, a good friend of mine died when those machines went crazy. His airwheeler dropped right out of the sky and he didn't survive the crash. Damn fool wasn't wearing a regulator. I know that's not so strange these days, but he'd never bothered with one. He was at peace with the idea of dying someday, and I thought I understood what that meant. Until it happened. What do you mean you thought you understood what that meant? You didn't do so because you never knew what death meant because your memories were always erased, right? What? That's a weird thing to say. What has me in such a fine mood, you ask? Light-hearted citizen. Well, I've just registered my new regulator. I was leery of becoming nothing but memories at first, but now that I've gone through with the registration, I've never felt more at ease. Also, once it was done, the regulator displayed the current numbers. Of the 5,000 that's available, over 3,800 have already been filled. So if you're still hesitant, you've not much time to make your mind up. Mark my words, friend, when there's only a few slots left, it's going to get very ugly. Yomi, a word? I feel like there was a new factor in these stories we've heard, and we hadn't considered during our discussion with everyone in the back room. Did fights are likely to break out over the new regulators? The fact that nearly 4,000 people have registered is worthy of its own report, but are you sure there wasn't anything else? What? That a victim of the violence wasn't wearing a regulator? What? No, that must have been... Yes, that's it. Why is that new? What? I mean, many of the citizens of Solution 9 must not be wearing regulators at this time, right? So it's pretty high chance that one of the victims would not have worn a regulator, right? The vast majority of residents have always worn regulators, so it's... Oh. But it was one who never worn one, I guess. So it's not a detail we'd normally think about. With the supply of souls cut off, though, more and more people have been going without them. We need to look into the casualties from the recent attacks and check whether or not they were equipped with regulators. Let's ask around on the street over to the east. It was pretty chaotic at the time, but maybe we'll find eyewitnesses who can help us confirm if this was a pattern or not. Okay. Discuss the hover cargo. It was once my job to deliver goods by hover cargo. That's why I know a fair number of names and faces throughout the city. The little ones who jump for joy when I brought them packages, and the old lady who'd always greet me with a smile. I'd hate for anything bad to happen to them. Unarmed sentry. Hello, how are you today? Please let me know if I may be of service. Have you seen a pattern in people that, died in crashes? Citywide casualty data unavailable. Government officials are currently processing reports from all affected zones. Can you narrow it down to the recreation zone then? You must have some estimates on hand. Recalibrating parameters. Injured, 87 individuals. Casualties, 19 individuals. Casualties equipped with regulators, 0. Well, interesting. I'm assuming he's trying to, incite more fear. Even more fear in people, to wear regulators. Unsettled sanitation worker. We should know if the people who died in the machine rampage were wearing regulators. I'm sorry, but I was assigned to clearing away debris. I didn't see any of the deceased. No bodies were present by the time I arrived, so I assumed the ushers had already done their work. I do remember there being patches of white dust scattered about that were quite a chore to clean up, but nothing else worthy of mention. Yomi, I think it's time we rejoined Krylan's Fiend. White dust? I was half joking with my boast to Shale, but we may have stumbled upon something major here. We should share our findings and keep pursuing this avenue of inquiry. Didn't Kryle say to meet them in the plaza just outside of Trueview? Let's get going. I'm assuming that's where the park is, right? Finish our patrol as well. Did it not seem that more people wanted near regulators than before? So it did indeed. And white powder. And none of them were wearing regulators. None of the casualties. So essentially you're saying that the people who were killed by malfunctioning machines were not wearing regulators? Yeah. Well, the numbers are still tentative and only apply to the one zone. We don't know how they'll stack up against the overall data, but this is definitely more than a coincidence. I think it's safe to say that anyone who had removed the regulator was a priority target. Now that you mention it, the person I was treating for injuries wasn't wearing one either. But why? Why are they being targeted over everyone else? Because he wants to have the people wanting near regulators, and he doesn't have enough of them, so they fight. Does it make sense? Why would they have wanting them to fight? It would make sense to have as many people wearing near regulators so that you could brainwash them, basically, right? And he could for sure make more than 5,000, so why does he just want to, have them riot? Not sure. Based solely on the lack of a neo-regulator, we cannot judge if a person has no desire to become endless or if they simply fail to acquire one of the limited devices. But those who wear no regulator at all, they have clearly rejected the old system of using souls to revive themselves. But another way, they have chosen to live their lives in the knowledge that death is an inevitability. The chances that such resolute people would wish to become endless are far lower, I would imagine. And so Calyx has chosen those least likely to accept his vision as victims to stoke fear and panic. But there was no need to kill anyone. And the way things were, the people were already fearful enough. They could have found 5,000 willing citizens without all this madness. Make a good point. Perhaps the sowing of terror is in service to another scheme, or he had some other need for the lives he's taken. Out of the dust that we found at various sites, that were found. Right, the sanitation worker's story. She saw no bodies, but mentioned piles of white dust. Dust but no bodies? Now, where have I heard that before? Do you recall when we went to save Erenville from the sentries in the outskirts? No. Did Usher Malachite told us much the same thing? Probably. I remember vaguely. Yeah, right, that guy. When I arrived, I found nobody, only a pile of dust, which the wind quickly scattered. That does make sense. When the wind quickly scatters this, scattered in this case, then why did the sanitation worker had so much trouble cleaning it off the streets, huh? Inconsistencies. Confused, I questioned the residents, but none knew what had become of it. Both stories speak of missing remains is suspicious enough, but the shared mention of this dust is too much to ignore. In that case, we should confirm if the substance was present at other sites and attempt to ascertain its nature. Following this thread may lead us not only to an explanation for the missing bodies, but also the intent behind Calix's murderous actions. Yes, this is Yomi. Yomi, we need your help. I've lost control over the soldiers in the residential area. They might be trying to hurt people again. Oblivion members are on their way now, but are you close enough to join them? Sure, I can just teleport over. Like, there's an Aetherite system for a reason, right? I need an Aetherite network. Damn it, our new investigation will have to wait. Let's go. Bonk. Well, at least they're hitting each other. Ah, never mind. Hi. Walking backwards isn't very efficient. Yeah, right.
Stay away from me.
Why have we not charged the thing yet? You know, for being such a great hero, we are really slow on those.
Are you alright?
What happened here? A sentry walked into my apartment, even though I'd locked the door and everything. I managed to run, but the man tried to save me.
Oh, that's a member of Oblivion, right?
No weapons, which is to be expected, considering all the sentries were meant to be disarmed. Yet it was ordered to attack all the same, even if that meant using its bare hands.
Well, I mean, they're not really bare. They're kind of mechanical, so he's probably gonna attack a bunch.
I'm going to do a sweep of the surrounding area.
Okay. Why don't I do the same?
Do you know anyone else in this sector who no longer wears a regulator?
Oh, I don't think I've seen Isadora and her boy with theirs recently.
Go to them, quickly!
Sure. Just in one fade to black. We'll be there, don't worry.
I'll be fine. But Isadora's in bad shape.
Mother,
please.
You know how it works in Final Fantasy 14. If there's blood, not looking good. Except in one case, obviously. Dang, should I have worn my... Well, she can probably heal, right? Ah, there we go. Should have worn my scholar Jobstone.
Oh, thank goodness. She wasn't struck anywhere vital.
Okay. I guess blood is no longer an indicator of death in Final Fantasy 14.
If only I'd gotten here sooner.
Everything will be all right. I promise to make your mother better.
Better. Sven!
Thank you, miss.
Still baffling to me that nobody, you know, realizes that it's her. It's her. Just because of a code.
Will she sleep like that forever?
Probably not.
No, not forever. She'll wake soon. I'm sure of it.
That's good to hear. Thank you for saving her.
Always a pleasure. Promise of Tomorrow. That was just the intro patch. Well, that was 30 minutes. Yeah, it's probably gonna be more than... I do hope we will at least have either the trial or the dungeon in the first episode, and then the other thing in the second episode, right? Oh, you know, that's music when there's sense of ire. Ire? In the air. Not ire. What am I? Sense of... Dread? Dread. Probably the right word. In the air. You should recover in due course. I'm glad we arrived when we did. When I was sick and couldn't move, my mother was always at my side, always keeping me company, and I'm going to do the same for her. Forgive me, I was reckless. You shouldn't have had to waste time tending my wounds as well. Did you see our other comrade back there? He stayed behind in the lobby, but I heard the sounds of fighting. He looked pretty dead. I'm sorry, he must have fallen protecting the residents. Broccoli and spinach sauté. Creamy alpaca pasta. Yeah, I don't want to clutter my inventory even more as it already is. With foods that I'm never going to use anyways. The Endless Choice. Wayakwe is fearful for her comrade. Comrade, I think he may have been struck down? He is wounded or worse, I should go to him. That was not blood. Wait, please. He isn't safe and you still need to rest. Would you stay with Milos and watch over Isadora for me? We will tend to your friend. Thank you. Please be careful yourself. Don't worry, she got me. Which doesn't mean anything nowadays because I only, you know, intervene whenever the game wants me to, I guess. Wait, Isn't this the door? This is the door, right? Yeah, okay. That man, This is awful. Why is this happening? Isadora is going to be alright then. I'm so glad. I've just finished my ministrations here. Our Oblivion comrade was beyond saving, I'm afraid. Really? 2 against 1? Okay. You know, like, I think the other sentry also fought the sentry, right? So, that brave soul. He gave his life to save another. By protecting me. I don't understand why any of this is happening. Sentry was behaving normally like any other. Then, all of a sudden, it tried to kill me. Weapons or no, Calyx commanded them to commit murder. Is it over? Came as soon as Wayakwe sent word. I'm sorry. By the time we arrived, it was already too late. Then Geode could be in trouble too. Once we have this radius locked down, we need to find him. Oh, he was death flagged already. But why? Something happened. New music? New music? Who this? Possibly. We're not sure what, but he stopped responding to your communications. Might be new. I need to prioritize securing the residential sector though, at least until we regain control of the sentries. Yeah, it's a job for me. Finally, give me something to do. Then we should search for Geode. I agree. Since most Oblivion members have sawn off regulators, if our theory holds true, then they could be prime targets for the next attack. Please, do what you can to shepherd the residents to safety, but avoid the sentries at all costs. Just like we avoid dangerous enemies in Clair Obscure at all costs, right? Right. Oh, thanks. Here, take these communicators. Pretty sure I've never heard this music before. Which has me hopeful for actually hearing You Are Not Alone remake, maybe, in this patch. Because, you know, if they have made one new music piece for the patch, then they might have made another one as well, right? Well, they for sure did one for the dungeon. Maybe for the dungeon. Maybe not for the dungeon, but for the trial at least, right? So, We've made modifications to them to prevent Calyx from intercepting the signal, and have been using them to coordinate movements with allies in the vicinity. Ayakwe has one too, so I'll ask her to keep hailing Geode. Hailing Geode, okay. Good luck, and stay safe. Geode said he would sweep the surrounding area, so he shouldn't have ventured far. Let's get going. But didn't they have the music? Keep the music playing. Was also setting the mood very nicely. Please, Geode, please be safe. Surveying, obviously. Yeah, we're just gonna stay here and look for him because that's gonna work, right? You see no sign of Geode. Perhaps you should search further to the east. Okay, game. Thank you for telling me where to go. I still want like an actual census as to how many people really live here. Because it's gotta be hundreds of thousands at least, right? Not millions. I mean, look at these buildings. Oh. Surveying. You see no sign of Geode. Mayakwe's voice crackles forth from the communicator. Geode, answer me! There is no response. Perhaps you should continue your search further to the east. Go east. Life's not peaceful there. Go east. It's where. Geode is there. And Sentry. The unit is unresponsive. If only I could fix this. Interrupted. I didn't do anything, but okay. Surveying. I can't see him anywhere. Maybe Yomi can. You see no sign of Geode. The neighboring residential radius would be the next logic place to look. I can see him. There he is, right on screen.
This is the only place left.
Oh no, it's voice acted.
Then be safe.
Who?
Geode, are you there? Answer me, please.
Oh, he's on a private little mission here. But why is he not answering? Oh, he does. Never mind.
Silence. I've been busy.
Oh, you're alive. Thank the gods. Where are you now?
The radius next door. The lobby is secure.
Could have told us earlier, you know.
I'll scout the second floor. Then I'll join it.
Bye.
That dust.
Dust?
Tell her what you've
are you
seen
talking about? What's happening?
before you get killed.
Not just collecting souls. They're draining the bodies of corporeal ether. The dust that we saw was all that was left of the victims.
Oh, that wasn't clear until now? Okay,
To find
sorry.
The soul cells. Shit.
Let's shoot it. Why are you getting so close? We already know machinists never run out of ammunition, come on. What are you doing? Just run. That... wow, okay. Didn't Wayakue's weapon have a blade on it?
Be here. You need to run now.
Alex, isn't it? Oh no, it's just a sentry. Oh, interesting.
A trap.
Well... time for my hero's entry. Come on, my big... entrance.
Take care of the others, eh?
Why can they suddenly move very quickly and very coordinated, you know, like when they're stumbling around like that for most of the time? That doesn't make any sense, but okay, whatever. Obviously, I'm late. Hero of yours in my ass.
So far. This way, maybe?
They might have already pulverized him. Can't literally. Yeah.
Geode!
Nope. No Geodude anymore. he could as well have worn a... what is it, a... Huh? Oh, there he is, okay. There he was. A... Starship Enterprise crew member shirt, right? Because that's the ones who always died in the episode, right? He ditch. Because he wants to go alone for some reason.
A shame.
And I'm just not doing anything.
At least one more cell's worth of ether. But seeing how eager you are to interfere, I shall cut this foray short.
Why is there question marks? We know it's Calyx.
Calyx. What could you possibly stand to gain from these atrocities?
Ether sufficient to generate 5,000 endless. How would you acquire it?
That makes sense.
How would I?
Until I have the key, the reflections are closed to me. Thus do I make do with the sources at hand.
Well, to be fair, she did the same thing. Well, not she, but her
7%
memories.
of Alexandria's
Our endless version.
population will yield the energy to convert 5,000 into endless. With 11%, operations could continue unabated for 800 years. Our bodies are fated to decay sooner or later. These ones refuse the gift of eternal life, so what difference does it make if I return them to ether now?
Pretty sound logic, to be honest. From his point of view, obviously. And we're still not attacking.
I will not waste time and resources on meaningless conflict. This unit cannot offer you worthwhile resistance. Instead, I pose a question. Would you hand over the key if I promised to halt my harvest?
No, because if I gave you the key, you would just go to other reflections to do the same thing there. That doesn't make a difference. Well, and we would lose the key, so no. I will, yeah, you would only seek other victims.
It was foolish of me to even ask.
Yes. It was foolish of us to not immediately engage, but hey, whatever.
I return to my work then. There is much to do if I must take the key by force.
Yeah, kinda. It doesn't really make any sense that they can only harvest the ether and souls when the enemies are dead, though, right? When the people are dead. Because isn't the exact thing that you need to do that before? Well, whatever. I'm not gonna question it. I can't... no words. This pile of dust, these ashes. And the soul cell he left behind. Was that his twisted way of returning Geo to us? Damn you, Calyx. Damn you and your careless cruelty. I wouldn't... Well, oh, that's what... Yeah, careless, right. He doesn't care, right. He was a friend. Even so, some might say every death was justified if it meant 5,000 Endless could continue their immortal lives. And if a reflection's stolen ether allowed for many more Endless? Why, that too would be a noble sacrifice for the greater good. Who could think that? Well, people of Alexandria. Not I. Certainly not I. Know only too well, there is naught noble in this sacrifice. Looks really different with the new GPU. I never realized how much rouge I had on my cheeks. Yomi had on her cheeks so far. You have to stop him. You have to find Calyx and put an end to this madness as soon as possible. And under no circumstances can we let the key fall into his possession, Yomi. Because to us, we will thwart his plans here in Alexandria before he can terrorize innocents in reflections elsewhere. The endless choice complete. Da ba da da. I will hold on to Geode's gun. If you could take the soul cell, please. My memories and yours. Though gripped by sadness, Sphene spurs herself to action. We should return to the back room. Shale and the others need to know what happened. Yes, I'll ask Wayakwe to meet us there as well. Automatical teleport? Nice! Thank you! Oh yeah, so they didn't have to put us in some random location, right? I mean, he's not the only one who died. Well, that doesn't make it better, sorry. I don't know why. No, what I'm saying is, it feels like we told them of Geode's death and only that made them cry. Which is why I'm like, there's other people who died today, you know? Like, it's not just because it was Geode, right? And it should be sad.
Our dear Geode. The soldiers. If only I'd been able to control them.
This isn't your fault, Gololja. The blame lies with Calix, and with him alone. It's all so senseless.
I'm sorry, I just because the name just sounds like a stripper name. Especially because sister has a traditional Shalonian name,
Why
right?
force his plans upon us when we're already happy, living our lives? What does he even think life is?
It is interesting though why he took to the shadows for that long, right? And only acted now after everything with Zoralja happened and stuff. Was that explained? Sure, I don't think so.
I'll never forgive Calix for doing this. Or myself for being powerless to stop him.
I have to say it still looks really weird that the weapons are just hovering at the back.
Wait, where are you going?
And there's just no sheaths or anything in this game.
To clear my head. Don't worry, I won't do anything stupid.
Obviously, yeah, they would clip, and I don't know, it would be difficult to do. But it does really look very weird whenever there's an angle in a cutscene where you can actually see the distance between the weapon and the back of a person, right?
Stay here and get some rest. I'll make sure nostalgia
I haven't
stays out of
done anything. Are you talking to me? Okay, yeah, it makes sense to her, yeah.
You.
But then, like, concerning me, I haven't done anything yet, so please let me do something. Wait, did she just go alone? What about me? Hello?
Things would have been far worse if you and Geode hadn't rushed in there. Many people are still alive because of you. And after adding what you discovered to the leads we've dug up, I'm hopeful we
Oh, hey,
can determine
Raw.
where Calix
Didn't
is
see you there.
hiding. But not right now. We need time before we can move on. Just a little time.
Oh, Geode.
What about the other guy that was with Oblivion that died? Hello? Did he not have a name? Spoken with Vuklamat. They've cut their meeting short to deal with the aftermath of this latest violence. I assume you know better by now, but I hope you're not planning to try anything alone. We're all here with you. Are you telling me that I am not alone? I'm so thirsty for it. I'm told that the members tasked with keeping residents safe returned with the body of their comrade. They all risk so much. Made a swift patrol of the other levels and confirmed that Calix had carried out a number of targeted attacks, all to hover more ether, it seems. I got back control of the sentries, probably around the same time Calix left. Sorry, I couldn't stop him. That's your comment to all of this. They brought back Geode's gun, and its rounds were spent and its barrel was scorched, so you can be sure he went down fighting. I've already seen that, yeah, thank you. Another comrade gone. Some days it's almost more than I can bear. Geode was an older brother to Nostalgia and me. Chael knew him longer though, and is surely taking it the hardest, and that's on top of what happened with Kafkiwa. Do you think you could check on her? See how she's doing? She's like to put on a brave face, if it's me or my sister. She's still here, you know, she would not probably, whatever. Apologies, my mind was elsewhere. I need to press on with the hunt for Calix, but I can't seem to focus. I should be better than this, I know. As you said, you need time to work through it. We'll take it from here. Well, not really, because we can't operate the computers to search for Calyx, but everything else we'll take from here, okay? You're right. I ought to heed my own words. As it stands, I'm of no use to anyone. Kefkiwa used to say the best thing to do with grief was to let it all out. Yeah, but not necessarily in front of, you know, like all the other people. I think I'll take myself over to Earth and Sky and say my goodbyes to Geode. Exactly. That's a good idea. Why don't you come along? I could use someone to blubber to if you've a shoulder to spare. Why me? Really? Is that what the hero of yours has to do now? Oh, okay. Sure. I mean, I'm not opposed to it. It's just like, don't you think there was better use for my skills right now? I'm also not a very good person to lend a shoulder. I'm trying, okay, I'm trying to improve, but it's very difficult to switch off my logical, pragmatic thinking brain. Right, then let's get out of Everkeep for a bit. As you probably have realized by now, if you have actually watched this playthrough up to this point. Yeah. It's a fair trek on foot. I've arranged for a couple of air-wheelers. Really, is it a good idea to use air-wheelers? Also, I have my own air-wheeler. I also have a car. We could just take my car, who holds 4 people, I think, so... I've had the communications modules removed, so even Calyx shouldn't be able to seize control of them. Say the word and we set off. Ready? I'll be flying close to the pylons, so follow my lead. We need more pilots. Mount the air-wheeler. Which game was it that also had me build pylons? These air-wheelers are General's babies. You won't find a smoother ride in all of Everkeep. Oh, right. The altars, right. For years now, I've been taking one off a turn whenever I am needed to lighten my mood. One out for a turn. You know, we can fly faster than this. Sometimes Shield would come along too, and we'd end up racing. Yeah, exactly. Let's go racing. Does it surprise you? Our friendships always had a competitive edge. I would love for there to be a racing minigame in this game. You know, like not like the Chocobo racing, but where you actually have to race. And not just whatever you do in Chocobo racing. We would often talk about how one day we might fly our wheelers outside the dome. Why didn't you do that then when you had the chance to? Cruising. Slowly. Almost there. Be sure the ground is clear before you touch down. This is my first time riding one of these, okay? Whew, that's helped clear my head a touch. You know, Yomi, you might be the first person I've ridden with who wasn't an Oblivion recruit. As far as I remember, at least. The memories from my regulated days aren't exactly reliable. Come on, let's head inside. Hopefully the way will be clear of pests today. Not too much happening so far in this patch. In this first half of the patch. And the problem is the dungeon will be the Meso terminal, right? So I'm assuming we've got to go back to living memory, and we're not even close to living memory, so I really hope we can have the dungeon in this episode, not the next one. Just our luck, and not have, you know, like both the trial and the dungeon in the same one. Thanks. You can usually avoid such encounters, but sometimes they wander in and block the only path. Not that it slowed you down at all. I've never seen you fight up close before, and the surveillance feed clearly didn't do it justice. Ahem. Hopefully it keeps the route clear for a while, shall we? Yeah, ignore the sparkling white energy around me. Blue. I did say white, blue, obviously.
Whenever we lost a comrade, the three of us would come back here to reminisce.
Is that a
Me,
coffee machine to the left?
Geode, and Kafkiwa.
Okay, I guess Geode was a
Raise a glass.
very big part of Oblivion, right? Geode's memory. Why would I inspire it? Just give me a glass. Well, I guess we don't have any.
Oh,
How fortuitous
What are the two
that
of
you happen to
doing
stumble in here. Same as you, I guess.
I had a feeling you'd show up. Would you like to join us?
Oh, interesting. Oh, we do have marks. Right, why didn't we raise them then?
I suppose I could spare a moment.
To dwell in nostalgia? Ahaha.
They tell us Oblivion's founders disappeared some decades ago under mysterious circumstances. And it was Kafkiwa who revived our organization.
I'm almost about to geek out over the fact that you could just set a mug on the table like that. I mean, they were able to do that since Shadowbringers, right? Since they dropped the support for PlayStation 3, I think, right? But it's still... You know, I'm used... Problem is when a moving object in games and stuff and 3D animation picks up another object, you need to somehow detach it from where it is currently and then attach it to that person, right? So that it moves correctly. In a MMORPG, it's just really nice.
You and Geode helped her with that, didn't you? Tell us more about it. You're keen to know too, right? What they were like back then. The mad things they got up to. That sort of thing.
Especially because it's probably custom animation, right? It's not an animation that you can have as an emote or something. I think?
Those were the days. It was actually right before the Reformation that I met Geode. I still wore a regulator then. I'd recently lost someone close to me.
How would you know that? How would you know that if you were wearing a regulator?
I also quit a long stint as an adapter to work at a bar of all places. It paid me to sit with patrons and keep them company.
This is worse work, right?
So Geode came in one night. It wasn't long before we got into an argument. First-time customer, but tempers flared. And then one of us threw a punch.
You got into a fist fight? What were you even arguing about?
Damned if I know. We were deep in our cups. I think we were both just frustrated and angry at everything. By the end of it, we were both sprawled out in the street. Pair of drunken fools. Then this odd machine stopped to lecture us.
Why didn't you do that in the Arcadian?
Obstructing the foot traffic and not taking better care of ourselves.
I can't imagine you ever being in such a sorry state. The odd machine. That was Kafkiwa.
Oh, that makes sense. Right.
That it was. Once she was done upbraiding us for our unseemly behavior, she launched into a recruitment pitch. Kafkiwa explained that she wanted to protect the outside world from Zoralja's invasion, to keep him from bringing ruin to the place her beloved son lived. And if we were so intent on self-destruction, then perhaps we might consider risking our hides for a just cause. It was a lot to take in. I hadn't given much thought to what lay beyond the barrier, and learning that Kafkiwa herself was already dead was enough to make my head spin. But Geode and I were intrigued by her ideas, and wanted to see this future of hers come to pass.
Geode often spoke of it. He told me that meeting Kafkiwa was what first taught him the value of remembering people.
Like he was sharing a holy revelation.
Oh, but back then you hadn't yet taken on Oblivion's name, had you?
Is that so? I just assumed.
It hadn't been Kafkiwa's intention to carry on Oblivion's legacy, nor adopt the cause your parents championed. Not initially, at least. She wasn't even aware such an organized resistance existed. She did, however, suspect the presence of other dissidents, those who objected to resurrecting the memories of the dead in defiance of the natural order. In the hopes of identifying like-minded comrades, we began searching the core system for traces of unauthorized access. And that's how we found it.
What?
An anomalous sector in the back of the Neon Stein. According to Melancholy, the door to that mystery had remained firmly shut since she took over the business.
Oh, interesting.
Room.
The back room was a back door.
We forced our way in, only to discover that the hideout had long been abandoned. Although the occupants were gone, the equipment they'd left behind contained records of a group calling itself Oblivion. After reading through their exploits and their vision for the future, we made the decision to carry on their work.
Thus were my parents' and Kafkiwa's hopes bound together.
And carried onward by Shale and Geode.
We could never have made it this far on our own, of course. Not without the strength of arms you and your friends provided.
That's what we do. Quite often, actually.
Losing comrades is a hard thing, but being here, thinking back on the moments we shared, I can see their smiles, hear their laughter. I feel their presence, and I know they're still with us. But these memories of mine are for me alone. Reminders of why I chose to do this, and why I'll stay the course. Right. Time we got back to work. Thank you.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Time we find Calyx so we can beat his ass.
It's
Hopefully not too hard,
I
though.
should be thanking you. Though the pain is still deep, I don't feel like I'm drowning in it anymore. Let's get out there and put a stop to Calyx. For you, for me, and for everyone who's ever believed in Oblivion.
And all the others as well, right? Right? We're an organization for all of the people of Alexandria and Tuliolal, not just those who believe in us, right? I appreciate you helping me through this. And not only the grief, you've helped me see that my comrades mean even more to me than I realized, which only fuels my determination. I'll be spending every waking moment working to bring Calyx to account for his crimes. I'll do my part, and you do yours. Oblivion needs you. Oblivion has been added to the Unending Codex. A darkness in the heart. Shale steals her heart for the work ahead. Time I went back to locating Calyx's lair. I have a new strategy in mind, but it remains to be seen if it will aid in narrowing down the possibilities. I'll ask Kryl for help. I want to re-examine the data, starting with that of her parents. After all, they were the first to break away from preservation and establish an organized resistance with Oblivion. There must be something in there that can point us in the right direction. What are your plans, Yomi? I'm just waiting for anyone to point me at anything and fire. Yomi, is that you? Apologies for calling suddenly. This is Yomi. I've been making the rounds in the outskirts and I cannot help but feel as though something is amiss. And I ask you to join me. Your perspective would be most appreciated. I can wait until you've finished attending to Shale, of course. Yeah, we just finished. I'll be coming over. It seems your plans have been decided for you. Go on. I have others to speak with before I return to the back room. Alright. Oh, that music. Yomi, thank you for coming. As I mentioned, I would benefit from a worldly experience. Perhaps it is my imagination, but the townspeople appear to be acting oddly. That is, even considering the current state of affairs. As I'm yet unfamiliar with the outskirts, I thought you might be better equipped to judge if the behavior is unusual or not. Would you speak with them and see what you think? Though I hope to be proven wrong, I fear something is not right here. Yay, more token. Woo! That's exactly what we need. Trembling resident. Oh, please tell me you brought more near regulators. Officially, they've all been handed out already, but I've heard rumors that there were a few left over. Surely the government still has some. Perhaps Queen's Fiend? I may not look it, but I was a hunter once. Back then I hardly gave death a second thought. But now that I know the truth, it's all I can think about. There has to be a way to hold on. There has to. Oh, jeez. Jump scared by my own mount. Greetings! I remember when you visited with Queen's Fiend. Come to check on our well-being, have you? You are wearing a neo-regulator. I can say that things are rather stressful out here as well. Without knowing if or when our machinery might turn murderous, the spectre of death is ever present. People are terrified, and the clamor for neo-regulators has reached a fever pitch. I personally was fortunate to have claimed a new device early on and have long since completed the registration. Death has no hold over me now. Now I must begin my prayers. The darkness draws closer, grows deeper, and we must cast it out. What? I must pray. 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 Brains. Right? That's how it goes. Neo-regulator equipped resident. You're not wearing a regulator? Don't you know the end is coming? Well, it's your life to lose. Me? I got myself one of these neo-regulators and registered a little while ago. As soon as I did, a display appeared showing me the number of registered users. Right now it's sitting at 4,168. The upper limit was 5,000, wasn't it? Seems the total shot up right after those machine malfunctions. It's only a matter of time before everyone's registered. I pity those who weren't chosen, but I'm going to be an endless. I'm going to evolve and live happily ever after. The glorious evolution! Oh, that's wrong, sorry. What do you think? Was I right to worry? Yeah, pretty much. The fear is palpable. Yes, that is exactly it. The people are overwhelmed with uncertainty and fear, and with each new registration, that fear inside them grows more insistent. How long until it drives them into a full-blown panic? Yomi, can you come to resolution? We have a problem. I'm already here with Lamarty and Alfino. Sure, everyone wants me everywhere, but I never get to do anything but to talk. Sounds like she wants us there in a hurry. We should go. Well, I mean, she wants me, but you can tag along. I don't mind. Yeah, sure. Ah. That's the Mist Terminal. You might still make it in time for the dungeon to be in this episode.
Sorry to drag you out here, but I thought it best you see for yourself.
Death is your constant companion. Though you toil with diligence, death may come ere your reward is bestowed. Though your grand works be poised for completion, death may come ere you wake the following morn. Though you enjoy a life of peace and good fortune, death needs but one instant to claim you. Your bodies are weak. Your heart, your brain, every fragile organ rolls the dice from moment to moment. Sheer chance deciding if they function.
Yeah, but it's a very slow chance usually that, you know, like for every moment that it fails, that they fail.
Be you stoic or generous or righteous, no virtues tip the scales in that fatal reckoning. The choice is made without reason. The end is cloaked in terror. That is what it means to die.
I changed something in the graphic settings, that there was some things wrong, and now it should look more like before. Well, before this episode, that is.
Began after we finished our meeting with Gotham. As for its source, well,
Calyx.
There is no shame in being afraid. It is that very fear which will drive you to conquer death.
That's not untrue.
Let us set a new course for mankind. Let us preserve our existence unto perpetuity. Hope for it, wish for it, pray for it. We will become endless. With evolution's brilliance, will we banish the ever-present darkness of mortality.
change isn't easy. No one ever wants to take the first step. But this is the right path for us. What other way could there be? I'm gonna do it. I'm going to register.
WoW, Uklamat! You couldn't have come at a better time. Please, you have to let us move to Tuliolal.
It's too dangerous to stay here. Who knows when the next century will turn on us? Even if we wanted to become endless, there are no more neo-regulators to be had. Fleeing is our only option.
If the solution was as simple as leaving, then we'd all have left already. Did you not hear the announcement? For the living, death is a foregone conclusion.
Well, yes, that's always been.
No matter where we go, or who we shelter with, we won't get another chance like this to overcome our fate.
Easy for you
Probably
to
true.
say when you have that regulator.
But it's only your memories, it's not you yourself who will be preserved, so...
The Landsguard are on their way as we speak, and arrangements have been made to see that you all will be safely evacuated.
Evacuated?
Tuliolal will aid you in whatever way we can. So please, remain calm.
I want to help Alexandria. I want to save its people. But what can I do? I am not their queen.
Difficult question to answer. I don't have an answer. But the game probably has one. My apologies, the sign is not responding to any of our attempts to change the display or switch it off. I'm sorry I couldn't be there in time. Cryer told me everything that happened while we were away. It's kind of baffling to me that... What's his name? Calyx? Sorry. Has such control over everything in the city. You know, like, and they can't find a way to weird him off. Like, really? We had the hopefuls who descended on Lamati dispersed for now. We could see tempers in the ground were starting to fray. This latest wave of attacks may not have been as widespread, but people are reaching their breaking point. We have to stop Calyx, and soon. Past those deadly malfunctions, and now a citywide announcement. He has spent considerable effort recruiting his 5,000 Endless, perhaps more than necessary even. Well, if his plan was actually to stop there, right? Calyx has access to the core system, which means that if he chose to do so, he could deploy the soldiers beyond the barrier. Even if our people... How can you not undo that? Are you kidding me? Like... He literally has a remote control, just... do something to have him not be able to remotely control your systems. Even if our people learn to live with death and decide to leave the dome behind, they will not be beyond his reach. Yet if it serves to allay their fears even a little, I beg you, Vuklamat, please let them shelter in Tuliolal. We will welcome any and all who want to come. We've already begun evacuations and we'll be able to pick up pace once the Lance Guard arrives. In which case we had best spread out and keep an eye on the crowds. Mood is tense and we must prepare for possible violence. Just let me at the Mesa terminal already, come on! If you happen to determine where Calyx is hiding though, we'll be ready to move at a moment's notice. Yes, please, go, come on, do it. Charlie will find a clue of some kind soon. He can't elude us forever. Violence and fear. This is not the future she envisioned for her nation. You give so much of yourselves to aid those in need. I must endeavor to find my own small way to help. Preservation, the purpose. Vuklamat assesses her surroundings with grim determination. Tuliolal would gladly welcome every lost Alexandrian with open arms. But what of the nation the late queen was so desperate to preserve? What of that bright haven of peace and laughter? Come on. I won't stand here and let her legacy be sullied any further. I will protect Alexandria. That was a promise I made her at the last. But she betrayed you, did she not? Why do you feel this obligation? I saw myself in her, I suppose. We both felt the people's joy as our own, yet alone we lacked the strength to protect them. There is so much to love in this world, too much for me to take in my arms and keep safe. And that made me afraid. I needed someone who shared that love and fear, so together we could do what we couldn't by ourselves. Maybe it's simpler than that. Maybe I just wish that we could have been friends. Would you be friends? Please let us be friends. So when she turned to me in her final hour, desperate to safeguard Alexandria's future, I swore that I would see it done. In the end, I think you both found the friend you needed. I would be yours as well, Sphene. Whenever you fall or struggle to rise, I come running to the rescue, and you do the same for me. Right. That's how we'll protect the things we love. That's how we'll protect Alexandria. You're right, you're right. Are you telling me she's not alone? Ah, sorry. I want it so badly. Yeah, don't forget about me. What about me? I have been degraded to retain her again. How could we? I don't know. You keep doing it. We'd not be where we are now without you. Yeah. Think about... sorry. Think about all the great things we've done already in the past 11 years. Right, got a bit sidetracked there. We should probably be on our way. Do we patrol or see if Shale needs a hand? There you all are. Please tell me you found a way to get into the Mesa terminal. Galulja. Ah, splendid. We were afraid we'd miss you. Elisa and the others said you were here. Good news, Yomi. We finally found the chink in Calyx's armor. Yes, let's go. We discovered laboratories on Everkeep's 10th level that once housed a preservation initiative. Containment Complex 1029 it's called, and it's been falsely registered as a distribution center. In reality, it hasn't recorded any traffic in decades. We don't think this is where Calyx is hiding as such, but it may well contain clues that will point us in the right direction. Dang, not yet the dungeon. I'm sorry it took so long just to get this far. If you're interested, what do you say we all go and check it out together? Yes, please. Let's do so. Thank you for all your hard work. This is a huge step forward. And up. We need to take the lift to get to the complex. I've cleared this expedition with the relevant authorities, and I have one of our people waiting to operate the said lift. Let's not keep her waiting. So where will this lead us this time? Because last time it went to a dungeon from here, right? So that might just be a cutscene. An institute on preservation scale would have had many such facilities in the city, yet I cannot help but wonder if this one is where my parents worked. Preservation laboratories. I shudder to think at what they were researching, but this is no time to be squeamish. Shale made me her assistant. She was teaching me the basics of data management. Great! Is that a rank up for you? I don't think so. Promotion. It sounds like Galulja played a big part in this breakthrough. I'll be sure to treat him to a finest feast once this is all over. I'll share the method we used to find the containment complex once we're inside. It wasn't actually all that different to the story of how we stumbled across the back room. Ready to head on up? Next up, the 10th level. Yes, please. Pretty dark in here.
So this is one of Preservation's laboratories.
It's so dark I can barely see.
I agree. Looks more like a meeting table than a lab. Not gonna lie.
Just a moment. If I can reroute the power to the circuit.
Are you telling us there's a light switch? Well, a power switch, I guess.
The light's working.
Yay! Probably press the switch.
Smell how stale the air is. This room hasn't been in use for many years.
It was thanks to Kryl and Galulja that we managed to locate this place.
You may remember that my earring contained the control code for the gate to the Golden City.
I remember, yeah.
Preservation that constructed the portal. We reasoned that the code to operate it might include a signature of some sort, unique to their organization.
Fortunately, that earring was almost everything they had to contribute to this expansion so far.
And a line-by-line examination yielded a string of symbols identifying the code's author. We then began accessing the nodes for every door in Everkeep, seeking out control codes which contained those same symbols. After a grueling search, we finally discovered our prize behind door number 1860, the entrance to the facility in which we now stand.
Why are you telling me that?
I'd still be at it if Galulja hadn't been around to assist me.
I took breaks, but Shale never stopped working. Not even once.
It wasn't that long. It was like half an hour. It sounds like you need one of Janel's energy tonics.
Those concoctions would probably do me more harm than good, but I appreciate the sentiment. In any case, this next part will require your helping hands.
We need to spread out and search for something that may lead us to Calyx. We're more than happy to help, of course. But I wonder, won't he realize we've found this place?
It's highly likely, and personally I hope he does.
Why? We all know our main objective. We're here to pick up Calyx's trail, and I've learned of a certain device that should help us to do just that. I explain how as we proceed, but according to the information I was able to dredge up, the device in question should have been installed in the director's office. Now, as far As for where that might be, yes, this map matches my data. This room we're in is the Researchers' Commons, located in the western side of the complex. The Director's office is to the northeast of here. This room we're in... Oh, sorry. So we should cut across the circular chamber in the middle, yes? Yes, we should, but... Unfortunately, for us, the interior door is locked. I'll need a security key with the appropriate clearance to open it. Judging by the mechanism, it'll probably be a card of some kind. Can't you, like some electric magic? I'll try my best, but this type of lock is well before my time. It may take a while to crack it. And in case I can't, you might want to look around and see if anyone left a security guard behind. Considering the state of the place, it does seem like they abandoned it in some haste. I shouldn't be surprised if you found one. Very well. Let's get to searching, shall we? Yay, let's click on Sparkly Sparkles. I expect we'll have the most luck looking where the researchers kept their personal belongings. Okay. Begin searching Containment Complex 1029. Close cooperation will be necessary to overcome the obstacles bearing a path forward. Close cooperation? What? Helpful hints will appear in different color. Pay close attention to the information provided by your comrades should you find yourself unable to proceed. Well, at least we gotta do something, right? At least we gotta do some detective gameplay here. Now look so far, the spin had nothing in it. Panel screen displays what appears to be the index page of an employee manual. Personal protocols. For security reasons, Containment Complex 1029 has been registered as a material distribution center. Keep this in mind and conduct yourself accordingly, both inside and outside the facility. Each employee must perform their tasks within their designated workrooms, the Researchers' Commons, the Proto Lab, or the Deutero Lab. Entrance into another workroom without official clearance is strictly prohibited. Carry your security card at all times. Your clearance level dictates the areas to which you have access. Equip your regulator at all times. Due to the highly confidential nature of the research materials and other data managed within this complex, preservation retains the ownership of and the rights to modify the memories of all registered personnel. Interesting. Research objectives. Access denied. Please log in with your personal account of view. Leadership personnel. Complex Director Demetrius. Protolab Chief Yosfor. Deutero Lab Chief Redacted. That's an interesting name, Redacted. I wouldn't name my kid that. Abandoned paperwork. A few documents sit in an untidy stack atop the desk. You find no security cards hidden among them. Half-open desk drawers. This appears to be the only desk with the drawers already open. You can tell at a glance that the desk's former owner has left some things behind. Rifle through the half-open desk drawers, obviously. You discover a card-shaped object. The electrode surface is marked with the bold level 1. Yay! Oh, could that be what we're looking for? Try it on the door and see if it opens. Scanning device. Self-destruction activated. A scanning device. The card-shaped object you hold looks to be of similar size to the scanner panel. You hold the card-shaped object up to the scanner. Well, that was easy. It's open, you did it, Yomi. And a good thing too. I was getting nowhere with that outdated circuit. I'm curious though. Why would they abandon a facility like this? It was run by a director Demetrius, also the Tamil who there told me. Perhaps there are more answers to be had once we venture further inside. Then let's continue onwards. The door to the director's office is across the central hub. Now I can't do everything else right. Oops. I'm pretty sure we need to find more cards, right? Going by the room labels on that map, we haven't entered any of the actual labs yet. That makes sense. Not a single soul here besides us. Another locked door. We could try the same card again, but it's probably not gonna work. Looks like every room can be accessed from this hub. Which is why it's called a hub. Oh ho ho. This must be the door of the director's office. Go on, try the card. It's not gonna work. Come on, it's a level 1. You hold the level 1 security card up, but the scanner beeps in disapproval. No good? Maybe we need a different card? Yes, the scanner is demanding a level 3 security clearance to open the lock. Surprise. As much as the delay chafes me, We'll just have to comb through the nearby rooms and hope we stumble upon the card we need. Let's start our search in the Protolab. The door is already open at least. You'll find a way through together, Shayla, I'm sure of it. To the Protolab! These notes seem to be about the research related in here. Let's take a look. Experiment 148. Submitting inference candidate 201930 to be considered for efficiency procedure review. Experiment 158. Maximally of 11509 recorded. Comparative study to be included in the report. Alright then. Oh, and one more. Experiment 163. New proposal produced as a result of 9834. Decreased valued verified. Well, I have no idea what any of that means. Maybe it will make sense later on. Maybe. Please excuse my impatience. The means to track down Calyx are close, and I am itching to get my hands on them. I dug through this data tablet and found a journal. I'll read it to you. The results of experiment 158, which was 11509, show a marked improvement in ether extraction rates. At last, we have achieved the target value set by Master Calyx. Though I will become endless as per our ascendancy protocols, I will preserve this historic number along with my few remaining worldly effects. Preserve the number. 11509? It appears to be a researcher's personal data tablet. Yeah. Today I began my employment at Preservation. The organization was unfamiliar to me, but when the recruitment letter arrived, I had a gut feeling that this work would be far more fulfilling than any orthodox medical practice. My instincts were correct. Master Calyx's philosophy is the refined ideal of notions I've only ever vaguely entertained, that mankind must evolve beyond the shackles of its flesh and blood existence. I had a meeting with Director Demetrius today. I've heard others praise his genius intellect, yet he seems but a guttering candle in comparison to Master Calyx's blinding brilliance. This morning I was permitted to access the top floor and observe the workings of living memory. As predicted, the shortage of ether required to sustain the Endless is reaching critical levels, yet Queen Sphene insists on continuing her ineffectual flailing. Our Milala colleagues, including the Protolab Chief, have been behaving in a decidedly suspicious manner of late. Should I report my concerns to the Director? From tomorrow, I have been assigned to assist with the research project in the Dawntrail lab. We are scheduled to conduct a major experiment, the details of which I have been kept ignorant. It would seem prudent to back up my memory data. This machine feeds into a soul cell. Big one. I'm reminded of my imprisonment by the Empire. The literacy device wasn't made to hold people? Ugh. Oh, that's the soul cell, I see. The way this room is set up. Canister inserted into the large device looks to be a soul cell. Could this be where they conducted the experiments to create Endless? But we could probably spend days investigating this complex. Finding a way into the director's office must take precedence. Speaking of which, Galucha mentioned a locker over in the corner that he couldn't open. Perhaps you could take a look. I'm pretty sure I know the pin code to get into it. And it is 11509. The locker door is shut tight, but the number pad suggests that inputting the correct combination will open it. You have gleaned some numerical data during investigation. Attempt to enter the combination? Yes. Select the number keys on the pad to input the combination. Enter up to 5 digits and press the confirm key. Alright then. I do need my chat for that. My chat window. 11509. 11509. Prize. Hey, someone forgot their mobile phone. The locker pops open. Inside, you discover level 2 security card. Oh, never mind, that's the security card, I guess. Yay, now we can go to the Dawntrail lab. Dawntrail lab. Yomi, you got the locker open. I thought I'm the brawl here, not the brain. And you found another security card. Oh, but does that say level 2? We need a level 3, didn't we? Yes, but it should still open more doors for us to explore. You did well, Yomi. Thank you! Now pat me on the head, please, right? These preservation members led such surprisingly normal lives. Leaving notes, losing their cards. I guess I imagined they'd be more, what's the word? Bloodless? Mechanical? My parents were once part of preservation, if you'll recall. It would seem the researchers who agreed with Calyx and his philosophy underwent the conversion to endless entities. But I assume those who could not, or would not, eventually left the organization altogether. Oh, I almost forgot. The researchers kept journals in their data tablets. The one I read doesn't explain much, but something big happened in the complex, and afterwards it was decided that everyone would become endless. The writer was really happy about this. You can tell how much they admired Calyx and his work. The entries ended after that, but maybe you can read more on the other tablet there. I already did. Right, let's move this investigation to another room. Well, we have the Dawntrail lab and the maintenance facilities left to search. Both are accessed via the southeast corridor. So it's back to the hub and the locked door crossway. Wow, thank you for pointing it out to me, game. I wouldn't have realized that. Which will hopefully yield before our new security card. I'll take the old one if you like. I doubt we'll have any more use for it. Sure. But that it mattered to me. If there were others beside my parents who left preservation, where might they be now? It seems not everyone who joined preservation became endless right away. There must have been research that required physical bodies. The scanner awaits. Hold the security card up to the panel and it should unlock the door. Calyx hasn't bothered to show his face yet, I see. Maybe he hasn't noticed us, or maybe he's just watching and waiting. What else do we have in this place? Do they have in this place? If I read that map right, it must be a lot smaller than the UA water facility. Scanning device. There we go. Yes, it opened. So where should we go first? The Dawntrail lab or facilities? Let's start with the lab. Let's just split up, why not? What is it, Gluja? Strange, this door is not lit up like the others. Shouldn't the security card open this door as easily as the last one? What does this sign say? Hey, there doesn't seem to be any power here. No, none at all. It's possible the energy supply for this room is on a separate conduit, which means there should be a contingency for opening the door. Look here, there's a sign above the card scanner. In case of emergency, backup power can be rerouted from facilities. How convenient. The facilities room is down the other branch of this corridor. Let's see about getting the power restored to the Dawntrail lab, shall we? Oh good, the terminal is lit up. That means we have power in this room. Well, yeah, I guess. The Dawntrail lab must have required greater amounts of energy to operate. What kind of experiments were they conducting in there? Well, squares and circles and squid games, I guess. Those are some big fleshy floor tiles. I wonder what they are for. This room was for managing the power supply and utilities. I hope they kept security cards in here as well. Engaging power supply. No good. It's returning an error. There must be a preliminary procedure. According to this error code reference, if the power supply has been interrupted for an extended period of time, then we need to reconfigure both the emergency generator and the circuit control panels. Shale? That's the emergency generator over there, isn't it? Yes, and by the looks of it, it's the same model as the one used in Heritage Found. But how does it send power to the other lab? I see. The energy cable attached to the base of this terminal leads down the hall directly to the Dawntrail lab. Which means we need a way to connect the generator to that cable. What about... Really? Well, at least they're making us do something. I actually appreciate that. Even if it is very simple. Very, very simple. Oh, but this is so nice. This is what we wished for during the main scenario quest of Dawntrail, right? So I really hope they're gonna do more of this in the future, even if it is just simple things like this, like just switching around tires and stuff. But give us more like this, just some gameplay during the MSQ that is not simply squatting some mobs with a fly swatter or Dungeons and Trials, right? Well, non-combat gameplay basically, right? Some actually meaningful and fun. What about these patterns on the floor? Could this be the circuit we need to reconfigure? I believe you have the right of it. Using the control panel set into each of the tiles, we create an unbroken path for the power to flow. But I wouldn't give for an instruction manual. Indeed, if you could look around for any written procedures, I keep digging through the terminal's directories. Might I also ask someone to operate the generator? I can do it. I've used that type of machine before. Then would you be willing to try and reconfigure the circuit path, Yomi? Yeah. The rest of us can help by supplying Yomi with whatever information might be found on the circuit configuration. I'm pretty sure I can just press the button until it works. Alright, we're starting over here and need to go over there, right? You must arrange... Yeah, sure. Oh, okay, we're changing the patterns, not... I was thinking we would be rotating them, but that is fun. So we can use a... Oh, can we use all of them only once, probably, right? I would have said the circle goes here, the triangle goes here. And then the square goes there, and we should be fine, right? Right? Or do we also need to connect this one with something? Because, I guess... Do we? Well, nothing happened, so I guess, right? There we go. Okay. We've connected all the circuits. Inform your comrades of the successful reconfiguration. Yeah. I wasn't one line enough, but okay, whatever. It worked! We did it, Yomi! Yay. The Dawntrail lab should now be fully powered. Well done, everyone. If I may, Shale, could we access a certain data log before moving on? I was checking the storage shelves and one of the labels caught my eye. Preservation, the early days is the title. Of course, it'll only take a moment to bring up the contents. Long episode. Ah, it looks to be a text-based account. I'll read it out. Preservation, an Alexandrian institute for technological development, was founded by Calix, an 11-year-old child prodigy. Approval for establishing the organization came during Alexandria's involvement in the Storm Surge, with Calix's design for new defensive solutions funded in large part by the Treasury. As the conflict grew in intensity and casualties mounted, Calix funneled Preservation's resources towards the perfection of memory storage. Research into this field continued even after the Storm Surge came to an end, with Calix eventually electing to preserve his own memories in a virtual domain. So this account is from before he embraced his endless existence, hundreds of years ago. I met him only once before the Storm Surge began. I was attending my father, who was then the reigning king of Alexandria. Calix could not have been more than 10 years of age and required constant treatment for his debilitating illness. Yet still he published theories so highly regarded that even the royal family was aware of his achievements. Life should not be lost to the injustice of death. Even now I can hear the single-minded will behind his words. So it was that, when war came to our kingdom, my father was quick to commit his unwavering support to his somber youth and his proposals for preservation. Several years later, the ensuing violence brought the death of both my parents. Overwhelmed as I was by my sudden succession to the throne, I suspect they spared me the reports on endless research and other less urgent matters. We had no way of knowing what kind of person Calix was changing into. Did he change? I wonder. Perhaps he has ever been the type to value ideas over compassion, and I failed to see it at the time. Or perhaps he did change, but is still driven by those same deeply held beliefs, that mortality is cruel and unjust, and his role is to deliver mankind from this fate. Whatever the case may be, we cannot allow him to shape our future. Let's press on, shall we? Yeah. If I've done my job correctly, the door to the Dawntrail lab should be accessible now. I gave everything I once over just to be sure. Yeah. Had his own body not been fated to fail him so young, would Calyx have pursued his endless project with such fervor? Everything we read in this place sings Calyx's praises. The people who worked here must have truly idolized him. That Alexandria survived the war was in no small part thanks to the defensive measures developed by preservation. In that regard, I shall always be grateful. Yes, the door has power now. Ooh. End of the quest, interesting. The energy current seems stable enough. Still, you should let me handle this one. The security card, if you please. Oh, and a quick prayer that a shorted wire doesn't burn me from the inside out. Why would you not let me do it then? I already know that I can withstand quite some voltage. And unfortunately, this is where I'm gonna end this episode of Gilganos playing Dawntrail. We're scratching on the 2 hours mark of the recording, which is long enough for the episode. Unfortunately, no dungeon this time. I'm assuming we're gonna have both the dungeon and the trial in the next one, so the next one is gonna be fun, right? Or maybe there's even gonna be 2 more episodes for this patch, right? Who knows? Well, we'll figure it out next time, so until then, thank you so much for watching and take care. Bye bye.